Go.
Me go?
Yeah. You know the story.
You just reviewed it, though. You know it better than I do.
Our story.
Our story.
You know our story.
I do. I don't need a blog for that.
That was Cynthia and Jeremy Pollock. They're both members of the San Francisco League of Pissed Off Voters. In fact, they met each other through the league and got married last year. I'm Jeff, and this is Storied San Francisco. We recorded this episode in the back porch area of Virgil's C Room on September 11th, 2017. That day, that anniversary, was windy and on the verge of raining. Things were dark, but they got a little darker when I asked them about Election Day 2016. Here are Cynthia and Jeremy.
Yeah.
Wow. Did we
Handle that night and what?
we started the day with lit drops, right?
Yeah.
Do you know what a lit drop? So you get up in the morning at, I don't know, like 5 o'clock in the morning. We also have not a happy hour, but we have a pub crawl that we do on election eve with the Harvey Milk Club. And so we are always hungover election day, or at least I am. And then we get up at 5 a.m. You have to get to like a campaign headquarters. And this is not for the League of Pissed Off Voters. This is like volunteering for a campaign. And so we got up really early and we went, and they give you like bags and lists with addresses and names, and you have to go and actually put door hangers.
I've done that.
Okay, so that's lit drops.
I'm just like, tell me what to do.
Yes.
Yeah. The idea was to get a door hanger on every doorknob of every election day voter that had the sticker that told them where their polling place was before people get up and go to work. So, yeah.
So we did that, and then we hung a little hungover.
Yeah, a little hungover, a lot tired. Out in the Excelsior for the Kim
It was
Alvarenga.
hot.
Yeah, and it was like
so
crazy
hot.
freaking hot.
In November.
I remember that.
Yeah, and it was like every house had like the stairs up to the door. And
Like
so
over
it
a
was just
garage.
like, yeah, so it was just like Stairmaster precinct in like sweltering heat. Yeah.
And then we hung out and like handed out guides, and then you like grabbed dinner, and then we had an election night party, and it was set to be at El Rio, and then we were going to have Virgil's as a backup. And
Virgil's
where we are right
Yeah.
now, Virgil's Tea Room. And so they share a back patio, like divided by a fence. And so then we ate across the street.
I was
You were
out
at work.
in the Excelsior at
you
the
were still-
Kim Alvarenga party, and so I'd been knee deep with the Kim Alvarenga campaign and was like watching the results come in for that district, and just sort of like in the back of my mind hearing talk of Ohio and Philadelphia, and Pittsburgh, and all these things. And so the League Party was here at El Rio, and it was like a mob scene, right? It was like impossible for people to get in.
Yeah, I grabbed some food across the street because I was like, I need to get some food. I haven't really, before this night. And then
Either way, you're good.
Yeah, either way, yeah, like celebrate or commiserate. And so I was across the street, and then I was like, we are never going to get in. It was to El Rio because it was just so packed, and then people were everywhere watching results, and like places that usually had sports on were watching the election results. And so when we got to I got a text message from another league member saying, hey, we can't get in our party. And so I was like, oh, okay, well, let's go over there. And it was the same person that does the door for Hard French, which was my favorite party in the city, but is no longer. And so she recognized me, and I told her what was up, and we had a whole crew. I think it was like 10 of us. And then she said, okay, stand to the side and we'll let you in. And so we go in, and I'm doing my sort of normal league thing, which is like updating all the Department of Elections results on butcher paper while everybody else is like watching the national election.
Yeah, so we sort of put up butcher paper to track all the local results as the new results come in, to track how it's moving and changing. And yeah, it was like weird moment of realization that like, oh, Proposition G or H maybe doesn't matter so much when we just elected a fascist. So yeah.
And then I remember, there were speakers, and, people were like excited about some things and obviously very upset about where everything was headed, looking at the Electoral College map. And so I remember Brokaw Stewart came up and just like collapsed onto me. Like I just held him and we just sobbed, when we realized like everything that was going on. And I got a text message from a friend, and she was like, I need to know, because you know about politics, how can this happen? And I was like, I don't know, democracy? Like, and then I was like, God, that was the worst thing to say. I mean, I don't know, because I know, like, why did this happen?
In real time.
Yeah. There's that cynical quote of societies tend to get the governments they deserve. Like,
yeah.
It's kind of a harsh way to think about it, but yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was surreal. Yeah. A lot of just shell-shocked people and people crying and also sort of having fun. And I remember a crew of folks took off to go march to the Twitter building to go protest Twitter's enabling of Trump or something. Yeah.
Was it that night or the next night we had someone that that we know that doesn't live in the city anymore, but that had a suicide attempt, and it was just like and I think I was so angry at people who were just like, Hillary and Trump, same difference. And I was like, no. And it just, I think the whole election, we had differing opinions on, just like the non-Trump candidates. But it was this sort of feeling that there was no winning. And I think if, at least for me, I was just like, local is what matters, and we should stay focused on local. And then I was like, God, what the hell was I doing? I was not in, I knew a lot of people that went to swing states, and I was like, I could have flown to Florida and like campaigned there or something. I guess that's why I felt like, that I should have seen it coming more. I think we saw Van Jones give a presentation, and he was really just like at a fundraiser. It wasn't like a big, audience, and he was just like, this is how it's going to happen. He saw it coming for sure. Just on a personal level, Van Jones is hard to talk to one-on-one. He like kind of vansplained us. Like we had a kind of weird interaction with him, but I was like, he's right. I see this, I don't know. It's a takeoff of Rebecca Solnit's Mansplained.
Sure.
I'm pretty sure Cynthia trademarked that. Yeah.
You've never heard?
I don't know.
Should check the internet to see. Yeah.
Yeah.
And I like him. I think
Absolutely, he's brilliant.
He's
smart guy.
so brilliant.
Where his heart is and all that stuff. But I can see it though. Like,
And just phenomenally like producing, like he has, nonprofits, and he's doing a CNN gig, and like taking care of Prince's affairs, and like he's busy
dude. Yeah.
He's busy. He does not drink alcohol. He runs on adrenaline. So
that was part of the Vansplaining, is like you were at sort of like, hey, let's chat and discuss this speed, and he was at like CNN, panel fighting off all the assholes there, and just like bam, 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 I'm gonna educate you.
yeah. And yeah. So going back to like election night party and sort of that processing, it's kind of interesting to be thinking about that, like literally in the spot where we were, you know, and to think about elections coming up. And I feel sort of broken a little, like I don't even know where to start. And in many ways I feel like I'm just sort of back in that same sort of shell-shocked time of like that party of like, well, now what? So, I mean, there's a lot to, you know, fighting what's going on and resisting and local stuff and, you know, where we can fight off things and inch forward with progress and legislation, but also just like, man, it's just, I'm at a loss for words.
Since that day we recorded, there's been a glimmer of hope. Election Day 2017 saw women, trans people, and people of color all over the nation winning local and state-level elections. Well, that's it for this episode of Storied San Francisco. Music is by Otis McDonald, also known as Joe Bigale. Film photography on the website is by Michelle Kilfeather, whose show Walking to Boozeland is up at Emperor Norton's Boozeland. Follow Storied SF on Twitter and Instagram at StoriedSF. We're on Facebook at Storied San Francisco. The website is storiedsf.com, and you can email us at storiedsf@gmail.com. If you want to hear me talking about this project, Aaron at Bitch Talk interviewed me for that podcast. It's available all the places we are, and also at bitchtalkpodcast.com. Thanks to Jeremy and Cynthia for sharing their story with me, and thank you for listening. Check back next week for an all-new episode of Storied San Francisco.